guys, welcome back. This is By the Book, and we're your married relationship coaches. I'm Seth.
I'm Sil.
And today we're talking about Married at First Sight, Season 15, the reunion show, the first part. We're talking about Krysten and Mitch. I'm glad they're still not together, but as much as I like Krysten, I think she is a little bit delusional. I don't know.
In what way?
We'll get into that in just a second. But that's my overall take on her. Really like her. Think she's got a great spirit, but she's a little bit nuts. So Kevin opens up talking to them about their honeymoon. As we all know, things kind of got derailed super early because of the conversation that Mitch had with her about him being unattracted to her. He's kind of asking for an explanation, I guess, from Mitch for that. And he explained it as him having a drawn out panic attack. He asked Krysten if, she could kind of recognize that something was off. And she said she could because they had spent a lot of time together. They had talked a lot, and everything. But he had shown her, no affection, not even a handhold, nothing. Yeah. But then she turns around and she's like, I just didn't think that there was a chance that he wasn't actually attracted to me. He couldn't have looked at my face and said, this ain't it. Yeah. And I'm like, why not? Yeah. But I'm not saying I think she's a cute girl and everything, but you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. It's feasible that you weren't attractive to him. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. But, I think she was probably projected. I think she was... Kermit the Frog could have came down the aisle for her and she was going to put her
ribbon her way onto the marriage.
Yeah. And so maybe her just kind of thinking the way she thinks is surely who's going to be there at the end of the aisle for me is going to give me the same type of opportunity. They're going to be 100% into it.
I don't know. I think that she thinks she's an attractive person, and I think she is an attractive person. But it doesn't matter how attractive you are. Not every single person is going to find you attractive. I think that she's still kind of recovering from the damage that happened to her ego. That's in my opinion. I think that's what's going on. You're saying.
So she's kind of compensating just
overly. Yeah. So
that makes sense.
Mitch did chime in, and for what it's worth, I like that Mitch is okay with accepting his fault and stuff. Sometimes even more so than I think he deserves. But, he reiterated his conversation, what he did, it was bad. It set the tone kind of for their whole marriage. It did a lot of damage to the marriage, to Krysten. Yeah. And it was regrettable. So, I could appreciate everything that he said. And he didn't seem delusional.
Well, I would have appreciated it a little bit more if he would have gotten that epiphany, that revelation while things were going on.
You didn't feel like he was kind of apologetic throughout the season? I thought that he was.
I think he was kind of toward the end a little bit, but not throughout it. I saw a guy who wanted it his way 100% of the time, and he was uncompromising, and I just felt like he just wanted this perfect beach girl to be there, and she wasn't there, so he went into kind of his little diva thing.
Okay, so I feel like when things came to him, see, the thing about Krysten is she's so positive and accommodating that she doesn't complain. She doesn't set the record straight until she's ready to blow. Yeah. So I think honestly that Mitch was operating in this haze of ignorance because she wasn't sharing with him what effect he was having on her fully. And so when she would have these blow ups in these moments, I felt like each and every time she did that, I did not see him get extremely defensive. Yeah. I saw him apologize. I saw him take accountability, honestly. And I'm not saying I'm a Mitch fan because I think he's so extreme and just odd, I guess, that he's difficult to get along with. So I'm not a big fan in the sense that I don't think he's an easily dateable person. Yeah. Not to mention the way that he keeps his house, but we ain't even gonna go there. But no, I think he's a hard person to date, but I can honor the fact that he does take accountability when he knows that there's accountability that needs to be had. That's the way I see him.
All right. Well, we can roll with that.
We can agree to disagree.
Well, you know what? I already said I do not like Mitch.
I know.
And so it's very hard for me to give him any type of benefit of the doubt. It's very difficult. And so I am so happy that you can, but I won't. So let's move on. What else did he do?
So, they back and forth. They did some clips, but moving on to what I thought was significant, Kevin asked Mitch if he still had feelings for Kristen, which I feel like people keep trying to like trip him up somehow and make him say something wrong.
Yeah.
I feel like he's always looking like, can I say this without like people jumping down my throat? Like almost every time somebody asks him a question about her, he doesn't know what's okay for him to say.
Yeah.
And, so his response was yes, that he did have feelings for her and he always would. He's happy for the friendship that they had. He needs to keep reiterating that because we know like Kristen doesn't take no for an answer necessarily. So Kevin followed up by asking, where is there any chance that something can happen between the two of you? And he's like, it's unlikely just because of like all the things that they went through and everything. Yeah. Now, did you, with that answer in and of itself, find there to be something wrong with his answer?
Personally,
yes.
No, I did not see anything with it being unlikely. However, I know how did Kristen take it?
I mean, I think Kristen needs flat, cut and dry answers, like yes or no. But I also think that she's sensitive to things like flat out no's. Yeah. And I think that he knows that about her. So he's like, how can I put this delicately without it being offensive? What word do I choose? And why do I have to be here right now? Because it's uncomfortable for him. So he chose the word unlikely. And then I felt like Kristen kind of still like smacked him in the face with it. Yeah. When Kevin turns the question around to her, is there any chance? She's like, no, I know what I'm worth. And I deserve somebody who's not saying things like likely or unlikely, And I'm like, okay, but you know what it means? Like, why?
No,
I don't know.
Well, first of all, I'm so happy that she said no. And I think...
I mean, what else could she say, really?
But I'm happy that she got there, and it didn't take anyone... It didn't take Alexis to try to, like, help clarify the whole situation. So I was happy that she got there.
It took 5 months, though.
Hey, better late than never. So I'm glad she got there all on her own. And I do think that her natural state is one of optimism and to try to see a path through, to probably what she wants to gain. And I think so, like, when she misconstrued about leaving the door ajar and all of this different type of stuff, I think she does need to hear a clean no or a clean yes, because if she don't hear that, like words like likely, unlikely, she's able to determine her own like little whatever and kind of like get things kind of mixed up. So I'm happy that she heard that.
Said no herself.
Yes, extremely happy.
If she didn't say no then, we were gonna have to commit her. So when asked about the breaking point, during the show, she said it was the sister conversation, like the makeup conversation. And I very much do think that had a huge impact on her. But I don't think she was done. I don't think that was the end for her. And, just to prove my point, they went on to talk about something that happened after that, which was the retreat that they had and how much of a wonderful time they had on this retreat. Kristen said that he finally started complimenting her like on his own and he was validating her. So, she felt like she was finally getting at that point in the 11th hour what she had been asking him for, what she needed from him. And when Kevin kind of asked, did they think they were going to make it, after that point, after that wonderful time they had at the retreat, Mitch said, I still had concerns. And my question to you is, why did that piss Kristen off so bad? Like, her being mad about that made me mad because I'm like, what are you mad for? You know, she's like, I don't see how you could say you had concerns after that. You know, she pointed out that he kissed her with a mustache, but then we saw the clip and he was like basically trying to push her off of him. Like, you know, she was some crazed maniac he was like laughing maniacally, like, get off of me.
Yeah, he did almost shove her on to the floor.
Yes, and I would have too if I was him. Like, what are you doing? So, yeah, she said, how could you say you still had concerns after the retreat? And I'm thinking, you know, and I'm going to let you answer my question in 1 second. Okay. But I'm thinking, like, because you had one weekend that went really well, that was supposed to, like, wipe out any concern that he had about the marriage. Like, what are you saying? I mean, make that make sense for me.
Well, I think they did have a really good time on the retreat. All right. And I think things in her mind, they were moving in a positive way. Yes. And I don't think Mitch was being Mitch, you know, in that time span as far as being negative or anything like that. And so I don't think he said anything contrary to them having a good time and the relationship was moving forward. Like, unlike how he was prior. And so I think in her mind, she's probably like, we're doing good. Right. You know, that we have, it's no worries, you know? And so to hear him voice after the fact that yeah, he had some concerns, I think that just pulled the rug from underneath her. Because I think she really did think that they were on good ground.
But pause. So what you're saying, though, is that she lied to us. Because she said that the breaking point was the sister makeup conversation. Yeah. That was before. Yeah. Am I right? That was before the retreat. Yes. So it was a no for her at the makeup conversation. Yeah. But you go on the retreat. Yeah. And it has to be a yes for Mitch. Yeah. But it was still a no for you? Yeah. What type of sense does that make? I don't.
It doesn't make total sense. But if you think about the times that she went off, that was a big time that she went off with the makeup thing. And so I'm thinking she was probably reading that question like that. What was the breaking point when you just couldn't take no more and you just had to let it out? And I think it was that.
Oh, I thought it was the breaking point in terms of that's when she knew it was a no. No. I mean, it couldn't have been. It couldn't have been. If she was so offended by him saying he still had concerns after the retreat. Yeah. Obviously, like, either I read that wrong or she just flat out lied on this reunion show. Yeah. Because no, she was going to say yes. Which brings me to the last point. When Kevin asked him, you know, if Mitch had said yes, would you say no? Now, why on earth would he ask that? Except that everybody knows that if he had said yes, that she was going to say yes. Because if not, why would the door be ajar?
Exactly.
Like, girl, stop lying to us. Stop lying to yourself. You know the door was open. It's okay to say it right now because she's past that point, right?
True that.
You know, so just admit the truth. Like, I was so caught up in it and I was still in positive, you know, optimist mode that foolishly, yes, I would have said yes, you know, if he had said yes. And thank goodness he didn't because I dodged a bullet. Exactly. What's wrong with saying that?
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. But I think if you are a person like Krysten that constantly is optimistic and you are looking for the positive in certain things with a relationship that you shouldn't be in. And I think to try to get her self-esteem back to a healthy level, I think you're going to say absolutely not, you know, at this particular point, especially hindsight 2020. No, I was going to say no. I don't want to be with you, Mitch. Whatever they called him.
No, ma'am, we don't believe you.
But I think it was therapeutic for her to deny him. And I think that helped. I think that helped her self-esteem.
Yeah, I mean, and at least Mitch is kind of, you know, gracious in the sense that he wouldn't call her out on that. He would be like, okay, that's fine. Like, can I leave now? Because I don't want to say anything that puts my foot back into my mouth. Yeah. So. Yeah. I think they landed where they needed to be.
I agree.
Landed at no, they're still a no. Mm-hmm. No open doors, none of that stuff.
Hey, but I think they're exactly where they need to be. I think Krysten said that she was dating, and Mitch said he's still by himself, by which is a good thing.
Perfect.
Mitch, stay by yourself because you're not going to find a female Mitch out there. So ride it out. You and your surfboard in your dirty apartment. Y'all are the perfect couples.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say is I need Krysten to be honest with herself so she doesn't repeat the same mistakes. That's all I'm saying. Like, put yourself back where you were 5 months ago on that decision day couch and be honest so you don't find yourself leaving doors ajar for other fools that's not good for you. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But you know what? Real quick, why, if she felt that this man is not showing her attention, he's not holding her hand, he's not being affectionate, why did she end up having sex with him though? Why would she do that?
I mean, she was horny on the honeymoon. Remember, I mean, when she had that conversation, when he broke it down to her that he wasn't that attracted to her, she was already talking about, like, I'm ready to advance in the sexual department.
She was, but then he immediately said, I'm not attracted to you though.
Yeah.
And so he put the nail in the coffin. So why a couple of days, a week later or whatever, does she still have... I don't understand that part.
Maybe we have to do a sidebar about that one.
Y'all let us know. Is that a good sidebar?
I don't know.
Y'all
I think she was trying to get some validation for herself. So, like, answer my husband's question. Let us know if you want to see a sidebar about that or no. But other than that, give your comments below on what you think was going on with Krysten. And did she lie about... I think most of you already answered that you think she would have said yes. Do you think that she's telling the truth now, or you stand by what you said before, that she was going to say yes at decision day for sure if Mitch was a yes? Thank goodness they asked him first.
Yes.
Because she would have been devastated after she said yes and he said no.
Yes.
So you know what I think they should do? They should have cards that they have to, like, hold down, like when you're playing the newlywed game.
Yeah.
And then just be like, all right, reveal your answer. And they got to hold it. That would be drama for you.
That would be drama. But you'll see a whole lot of people like, shh, I ain't showing y'all nothing.
You got to do it same time. And then,
same time?
Yeah, same time. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
They need to implement that.
Yeah.
Just for my own entertainment. Anyway, like I said, drop your comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.